Yeah. Good evening, everyone. Triumph believes in converting non-viable to viable through initiating, demonstrating, empowering, and acknowledging. Our simple theory lies on the basic principle, which is to improve human value. World Health Organization states that by the end of year 2050, every 1 in 4 person would be suffering from hearing deficiencies. The first ever global report on hearing loss states that the causes causing hearing loss can be prevented easily by early intervention and timely diagnosis. So, on this World Hearing Day, which is celebrated on 3rd March globally, myself, Dr. Mansi, Director of Triumph Foundation, would like to call upon Dr. Rinki Shah, who is an ENT surgeon by specialty and has completed her MBBS and DNB ENT from Mumbai University. Ma'am, we welcome you on board. She has also pursued her fellowship in pediatric ENT and head and neck oncology. Our second panelist for today is Dr. Bhairavi Joshi, who is a dentist by profession, is a social environmental propagator, is a literary and CEO of Bikes India. Often considered as a taboo, hearing loss and deficiencies is still undiagnosed in India and globally. Diagnosis is the basic addressing to any problem. And without further ado, let me begin with Dr. Rinki Shah with discussing what can we do to provide the awareness in hearing loss. So, ma'am, what actually is hearing loss? Let's start with a basic conversation on how do we educate people about knowing what actually is hearing loss.
In the basic language, we can say hearing refers to total or partial inability to hear sound. It can be mild, moderate, severe, or profound. Some people are so severely deaf that they rely on only lip reading. But in the mild cases, they can hear but not at the level or frequency so that their normal day-to-day activity get affected.
And ma'am, what can be the causes for hearing loss? Like,
there are so many causes for hearing loss. Like it may be because of aging. You usually heard that after a certain age, the people are unable to hear properly, or they other causes are it may be because of injury, roadside accident, or any trauma to the ear or brain. It may be because of the excessive noise-induced hearing loss, excessive high volume of noise. It is very common nowadays because of the noise pollution. Other causes are like viral infections, which affect your ear infections, and it may affect the nerve supply to the ear, which goes to brain. There are many common infection in young ones like measles, mumps, and rubella. Some other drugs which usually by mistake or by prescribed by or taken by a patient, they are ototoxics. That's in normal language we can say they affect the ear and the transmission of sound from ear to brain. Some infections to the brain like meningitis, and the most common in elderly is diabetes. It can affect main causes of hearing losses.
ma'am, and what will be the role of healthcare workers? Like we all know that it is only us, like, but still the communities as I said, it is a social taboo. So how can we as healthcare workers generate this awareness amongst the people to come at least for the diagnosis? Preventive is a second step, but intervention is a second step, but at least for the diagnosis case on the awareness part.
Yeah. The utmost important is to identify the hearing loss or hearing impairment as early as possible. Because as early as possible, you identify, you are able to cure. In the later stage, we are unable to cure even in the 21st century. And at the present scenario, we are still having lack of so many medical or surgical interventions which are unable to treat hearing loss completely. As a healthcare worker, especially in the neonatal age, if you identify, then only the child will able to hear or speak whole life. If we can speak only if we can hear. If we haven't hear any single word, how come we speak? Just a simple example, when a child is able to hear the word ma, then only he can start speaking ma or pa, like this. As whenever the child come to our OPD, or when there is a history of any complicated delivery or something, we usually teach their mother, after 3 months of their age, they directly contact to any ENT surgeon, so that they can go through several tests which can identify the early age or neonatal age hearing loss. Even in the elderly, at the age of above 60 or 55, the simple indication is whenever they raise the volume of their mobile or the TV, it shows that they are having problem while hearing.
Okay, ma'am. So putting importance to age, as you said, that neonates, if they don't hear it, they are not going to speak. So can there be some preventive measures from the mother or the family side, which can be taken care to prevent hearing loss into child or developing child or their already delivered babies?
Care is just started when a lady can plan a pregnancy. Okay. It is a thumb rule before pregnancy. You are going to plan a pregnancy 1 month prior. You can stop taking so many drugs which can hinder the development of a child in a womb. It is mentioned in the counseling of a gynecologist or any healthcare worker. They can tell you that this medication you are not going to take whenever you are going to plan a pregnancy. The first 3 months of the pregnancies are very crucial, because in this month, a child is going to develop his ear, especially the inner ear development started from the first for 3 months. So this whole 9 months of the duration where the development of the ear is very important, mother has to take care of the several infections. She should be vaccinated, and the other part she should get prevented from the infection. Even after that, if the delivery should get complicated, it will prolong delivery or something, some infection occurred after delivery of the child, she should directly contact to the healthcare worker as early as possible. So whatever be better for her and her child should be done.
Okay, ma'am. And ma'am, as you are already a specialty into pediatric ENT, how about certain infections that you already stated, the causes that you already stated into some bacterial or viral infections that can lead to deafness? Is there any vaccination which is available, and how effective is this vaccine?
Yeah, vaccinations are one of the very important role in prevention of the hearing loss. During pregnancy and even after delivery of a child, a measles, mumps, rubella infection is very common, which directly affect to the ear. The name of the vaccine is MMR vaccine, which usually it is in the protocol of the Indian government that MMR is compulsory to all the child after delivery at the 9 month. And the measles rubella vaccine can also be given to the mother during during pregnancy. That other thing is children are very prone for cold. And if the cold is because of some severe infections like pneumococcus virus or other virus like H influenza, it may affect their brain development, their sensory neural development, or a hearing development. For that, there are other vaccines named pneumococcal vaccines, influenza vaccine, which should be mandatory in our country and should be taken by every child. It is the protocol of the Indian government that they should, but still in the remote areas, still the awareness for the vaccination is less. So as a healthcare worker, we all have a duty to promote this vaccination in mother and also in child.
So yes, ma'am, thank you. So this states that actually hearing loss is a easily preventable disease. And nowadays we are facing a new problem, that is noise pollution, be it our smartphones, be it our occupation, be it road honking. And talking about road honking, it is like 60 to 70% of the noise pollution is caused due to inadvertent honking that we are facing on roads these days. Also, this traffic congestion and increase in use of mobility vehicles. We are having our investigations and surveys says that we are suffering from a huge amount of noise pollution, which can be a prime factor nowadays of 21st century, causing hearing loss and deafness. So putting to you, Dr. Bhairavi, you being a social environmental propagator and also CEO of Bikes India, how do you think can we control this noise pollution by cycling or some other modes of controlling this noise pollution? Ma'am, we can't hear you, sorry.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you so much. Thank you for this wonderful discussion which is going on around hearing. As you rightly said that nowadays noise pollution and air pollution has increased, traffic congestion has increased. Uh, Speaking very in a very simple language, it's a common scenario nowadays, right now in cities. We see that during the rush hours, the lanes of the city, they are filled with vehicles. We waste no 15 to 20 minutes in those traffic congested zones. We never think about how those traffic congested zones affect our human bodies, be it our mental condition, our physical condition, or any hearing or any other depressive problems. When we see a traffic congestion which is prolonged for more than 15 to 20 minutes, the emissions which are released during that period from the vehicles, which they cause air pollution, which deteriorates the health of the road commuters who are using it, the people who are on road at that time. And in turn also the traffic congestion during that time, the honking which you said, it contributes to 60 to 70% of the noise pollution nowadays. So the honking creates so much of noise pollution, for not people who are sitting inside the cars, but the for the people who are on their two wheelers or who are pedestrians, it affects them a lot. And it creates hearing problems, as well as the time which is spent inside the car. People normally listen to music or they are on their phone, which in turn increases their hearing time, and which gradually leads to more hearing problems. So rightly said by Rinki that if a person cannot hear, he cannot speak. So if we start considering at a very minute level, from ground level, if our cities, because I work for sustainable transport as a part of other things I do for the environment. So if we just look at our cities, if they start becoming cycle and walk friendly, almost 50% of the population will come down to cycle or walk, because every person you see, 50% of the trips of any individual are within the radius of 2 to 3 kilometers, so which are easily cyclable and walkable. So consider a population of 13 crore. If we start cycling or walking for at least half of our trips, the traffic congestion, air pollution, and noise pollution will be decreased to a great level. So yes, improving the road quality by giving a safe pedestrian and cycle friendly infrastructure will indirectly lead to reduction in noise pollution, which will indirectly lead to a healthy hearing society. So this is how traffic congestion, air pollution play a role around hearing loss and all.
Truly said, ma'am. This year actually is where we as communities need to grow and take this as a social responsibility for each of us to decrease the noise pollution and take measures wherein we can act as individuals. Obviously, noise pollution is due to our own habits that we have formed around. So controlling them is also in our hands. And we as individuals form communities, and communities all together can eradicate these problems. Also adding on to one point over here, which is the occupational hazards that we are facing. We being dentists are continuously exposed to some sounds that are around 90 to 99 decibels, but this might be a small amount, but the repeated exposure of such amount of noise can cause hearing problems. So my general advice to all the fellow dentists is that, or anybody who's into the occupation where they are constantly exposed to certain amount of noise, is using of protective headgears, so that over the long term their ear health is sustained. Thank you, ma'am. And the final word from the panelist. So I hand upon to you, Dr. Rinki and Dr. Bhairavi. Oh.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for joining us. It has been our honor to hear from you. Thank you for your time and for your contribution.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much, Mansi, and for the wonderful session regarding how we as communities can prevent noise pollution and come together and solve the problem, which UN has detected that within a couple of years, we will see every fourth person having a hearing loss problem. So let us all together build a community which is sustainable. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.